What's up guys, this is Anime Crossover. I'm back with another series of What of Naruto with the legendary Silver Fox Part 1, and if you did enjoy this video, give this video 100 likes, and if you're new to my channel and like my content, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more crossover fictions with a twist. Now let's begin this new video.
Chapter 1 Sterling Fox, a 3-year-old boy fleeing from an enraged mob of villagers, had bright blonde hair that looked smudged with dirt, bright blue eyes, 3 whisker marks on each face, a ragged white shirt, and black shorts that looked tight on him. The young man's name was Naruto Uzumaki, and he came from the greatest shinobi hidden village, the Hidden Leaf Village, and the Elemental Nations. As the villagers yelled insults at him, including, "Demon Brat," Naruto frantically ran away from them. "Demon, come back here now. We'll complete what the fourth began." In a last-ditch effort, Naruto dashed into an alley but was met by a brick wall. Naruto turned around and slid into a corner in a fetal posture while pressing up against the wall. Naruto pleaded with the enemy, "Please don't hurt me," as tears streamed down his cheeks. When an ambu showed, the villagers surrounded the man. He wore black pants, ambu armor, spiky hair, a dark blue mask over his face, a tiger mask, and an ambu tattoo on his right bicep. Naruto felt relieved as he glanced up. "What do you think you're doing?" the ambu asked the crowd after turning to face Naruto. The mob was terrified as they stared at the ambu, believing he was going to murder them. After turning around, an ambu grabbed Naruto by the neck and choked him. "The boy can readily expose all of you to the Hokage. Therefore, it would be best to amputate his vocal cords," the ambu said in a lethal tone. As he pulled out a kunai and slashed the ambu across the throat, Naruto stared at the enemy in terror. Despite Naruto's attempts to cry, all that came out was the blood seeping from his wound. The villagers applauded as some hurled glass shards and sharp rocks at him, cutting his flesh. While the ambu was still holding him, some encircled him and stabbed him with kunai knives, pitchforks, and other sharp objects. Some even brought candles to put out the fire, and the embers burned his skin. "Help me," cried a weeping Naruto, pleading with someone to save him. "Anybody, please spare me from their vengeance. What went awry, exactly? My heart feels like it's going to burst, and my chest aches," thought Naruto. As they tugged firmly on the rope to remove Naruto's limbs from their sockets, 4 villagers took some rope and tied it to his arms and legs. As a result of having his vocal cords severed, Naruto attempted to scream but was unable to do so. He was left staring into the night sky with his lips open. Naruto thought, my heart, it hurts," as more tears rolled down his cheeks. "No one likes me. Nobody loves me." As the ambu lifted his blade to deliver the killing strike, Naruto's final words were, "No friends, no family, no hope, no dream, no life." But then 3 blurs appeared, knocking the ambu back. "Tiger, do you know what you're doing?" A young boy, perhaps 13 years old, who was dressed similarly to the ambu but was holding a katana in a defensive posture and wearing a weasel mask, commanded. Itachi Uchiha, a young prodigy who recently attained the position of ambu captain, was the young man. The other blur was a lovely girl, about 15, with long black hair, a kimono-like garment with no right sleeve, a fishnet shirt underneath, and big white bandages wrapped around her. The lady was Kurenai Yuhi, also known as the Genjutsu Mistress, and the Ice Queen of the Leaf Village, and she had mesmerizing crimson-red eyes that stared at the poor, disfigured boy sobbing his eyes out. The second blur was identified as Enko Mitarashi and had purple hair that was wrapped in a pineapple-shaped knot. She was about the same age as Kurenai and was dressed in a full-body fishnet suit, a short orange skirt, and a tan trench coat.
"Is the kid all right?" Itachi inquired. Just as his world went dark, Naruto raised an anxious gaze toward the 2 ladies. As soon as he lost consciousness, the 2 women turned to face him and began practicing medical jutsu to the best of their abilities. Minor bruises were healed by the women, but they were unable to halt the bleeding. "Itachi, hurry up and get him to the infirmary. His throat is bleeding, and we can't halt it," Enko exclaimed in a panic.
"Forgive me, Naruto, but I had to put your limbs back in their sockets," Itachi said as he summoned 4 shadow clones, each of which quickly grabbed a limb. The boy tried to scream again but was unable to do so, and he soon passed out from the agony. "Lucky you. I won't discuss this with the Hokage. You, Tiger, are hereby released from your ninja obligations and position. You must turn in your mask on my desk by morning, or you will perish," Itachi commanded in a threatening tone that clearly expressed its desire to murder. The fact that he chose not to inform the Hokage of the event was at least appreciated by the villagers. The villagers became concerned as the 3 of them vanished in a cloud of smoke as Itachi set off his trap. "However, I never did say that Kurenai-san and Enko-san could tell," he said. following day when Naruto awoke, he realized he was in the infirmary and that it was getting late. He was staring at a white ceiling. Suddenly, an upside-down visage with a young man wearing his long black hair in a ponytail and grinning broadly with his eyes shut reminded me of Naruto. The adolescent smiled and said, "Well, it seems like Sleepyhead woke up." Just staring at him with a puzzled look, Naruto. The young blonde cutely sneezed, dropping his genjutsu and showing his two small, blonde fox ears and a large, silver, fluffy ball that was his tail. Naruto's nose twitched a little. While Naruto was staring at the teen with dread in his eyes, the teen said, "Well, that's interesting. I'd say it makes you look more adorable." As he prepared to pose a question, Naruto noticed that his mouth was moving but no sound was coming out. "Your vocal cords are seriously damaged," the doctor said. "Even with your incredible healing abilities, it would take years for you to regain your voice because putting the right nerve and muscle tissue back in position is very delicate." The adolescent said, "My name is Itachi Uchiha, by the way." Naruto simply grinned, showing two tiny canines that were slightly bigger than his natural teeth. At that precise instant, Naruto's stomach let out a loud growl that made the diminutive blonde blush. "Hungry, huh? Ichiraku ramen, which I understand you love so much, would you like some?" inquired Itachi. Naruto's enormous furball tail began to wag, and he squealed with joy.
After leaving, the boy entered a shadowy alley and emerged covered in what appeared to be a wanderer's cloak, with a ragged khaki sheet draped around his entire body and his head. Itachi was perplexed by the boy's behavior but dismissed it when he became aware of his own hunger pangs. Itachi noticed the cold looks as he and Naruto were making their way to Ichiraku Ramen and used his Sharingan to dissuade anyone from attacking the youngster.
Itachi's eyes caught Naruto's attention as he was attempting to conceal behind his cloak. Itachi observed Naruto's puzzled expression and replied, "This is my family's bloodline, the Sharingan, which enables me to copy any jutsu I see with the exception of other bloodlines and summons. The tomo in the eye, also known as the tiny coma scars, serves as a gauge for the Sharingan's power. 1 denotes a novice, 2 an expert, and 3 a master."
The third little tomo combined to form a fourth, the Mangekyo Sharingan, which enables me to perform 2 strong jutsus, Tsukuyomi, a potent genjutsu that can psychologically harm an opponent, and Amaterasu, a black flame. To trigger the 4th level would require me to murder a loved one, and regardless of how good or bad someone is, I detest killing. Itachi chose to change the subject after observing the boy's worried and depressed expression.
The Byakugan, or those with white eyes, are the only entity that can compete with the Sharingan.
Itachi explained as Naruto clung to every word and stared at him with glossy eyes. The Byakugan can enhance a person's vision, see through solid objects and everything around them in a near 360-degree radius, and can see through a person's inner chakra coils. Itachi laughed at the boy's gullibility. The two were welcomed by Tyuki Ichiraku and his daughter Ayame, who is 12 years old, as soon as they arrived at the booth.
Well, if it isn't Itachi and my top client, what can I get you?" Tucci asked. Itachi greeted Tucci-san and requested a bowl of pig ramen. Ayame questioned, "What about you, Naruto-kun?" Ayame was eager to know if Naruto had said anything as he just stared at her with a depressed expression.
Itachi said, "He was attacked last night when an Anbu showed up slitting his throat and seriously damaging his vocal cords. Every time Naruto was attacked, Tyuki was furious, saying, 'What is it with these idiots, he's just a child for God's sake.' I promise, if I had more money, I would immediately adopt him."
"So why don't you?" Itachi questioned. "Sigh. I would if I could, but every time I visit the orphanage, the cost of the adoption paperwork is nearly tripled or quadrupled.
Plus when I went to the Hokage, every time I ask for adoption papers, a council member barges in babbling some nonsense about a paper mistake and need to retype the entire thing, grabs all the paper including my adoption paper and shred them, or his secretary would tell me he's busy and need an appointment and threatens me to call Anbu if I don't leave," explained Tyuki.
Ayame was cuddling Naruto, who appeared to enjoy the contact as evidenced by the position of his ears, the closeness of his eyes, and his quiet listening to her pulse.
Additionally, folks know he enjoys eating here. They either look to see if he is present or not, and if he is, they either exit or completely avoid the stand. In order for him to consume, I even lowered my prices. Therefore, the only thing I can do is assist in his concealment if a mob is approaching him from behind and offer him a place to stay if they ambush him in his flat.
Itachi stared with tears in his eyes at the young child who appeared to be asleep in Ayame's arms. Itachi said, "Tucci-san, you might not be able to accept him, but perhaps I can."
"What do you mean?" Ayame inquired. "I'm going to ask my folks if I can adopt him. Besides, I'm pretty confident my younger brother Sasuke and Naruto would be best friends. But right now, I believe the little one could use some food in his stomach, Itachi said. Ayame gently roused Naruto, and Tuki served Itachi's pork ramen and 10 various types of ramen to Naruto. Itachi finished his 10th bowl and stared at Naruto with his eyes nearly popping out. When Kurenai and Anko strolled in, Naruto yawned and rubbed his eyes.
Kurenai-san, Anko-san, what are you doing here? I thought you'd be in the dango stand right now, Itachi said, pulling Naruto's hood over his head to hide his ears. The owner was sick and decided to temporarily shut the stand, so we decided to come here. Furthermore, we heard that the proprietor is like a father figure to Naruto and wanted to thank him, Anko explained. Well, I'm honored ladies, Tuchi said. Itachi, what are you carrying, and why are you wearing a hood? Kurenai inquired. Itachi began to panic as Naruto moved his head, rubbing his eyes again, knocking down the hood, exposing his ears. Kurenai and Anko just stared at him. He's so cute, yelled the two girls, softly touching Naruto's ears, making him giggle. Sigh. I thought you were going to attack or something, Itachi said, relieved. Why? He's just a little boy, even if he does have adorable little ears, Anko said, and it's not his fault that the fox is sealed inside him. His ears, like his whisker marks, must be a side effect. I wonder if I should inform them about his tail, Itachi thought, thinking it was a bad idea. Come on Naruto, it's late and you should get some rest, Itachi said, pulling the cover back over Naruto's head. Hey old man, give me a shrimp ramen, Anko said. I'd like a poultry ramen. We're going to follow Itachi quickly and then return, Kurenai explained. The three proceeded towards Naruto's apartment, only to be met by the sight of a dilapidated building. The inside was worse because the place was mostly clean but had shredded wallpapers, holes indicating kunai marks on the opposite wall of the front window. The kitchen sink was full of instant ramen, but the bedroom was at least adequate for him to sleep. Itachi gently put Naruto on his bed, pulling the cover over him, and said, "Good night, Naruto," in a fatherly tone. Anko and Kurenai kissed him on the cheek and put him to slumber. Naruto awoke, examining his surroundings and realizing he was in his apartment. When he glanced down, he noticed a small stuffed red fox with the tag 2. Naruto from a buddy. Naruto approached the stuffed fox on all fours, his fluffy tail jutting out. He gingerly poked it and dashed under his bed, expecting it to explode or something. He poked his head out warily, approaching it again, and nudged it again, quickly stepping back and sitting with his legs folded. Hearing a girl giggle from his room, Naruto smiled joyfully, crouched down, wagging his fluffy tail, and pounced on the little stuffed fox. He paused for a moment before continuing to play with his first and favored toy. Kurenai and Anko were up in a tree watching Naruto with binoculars, making sure he was secure. Ah, he has a cute fluffy fur ball of a tail, Kurenai said. Itachi is so deceased for not telling us, Anko said. Random Street. Itachi was walking along when he felt a cold, dark sensation aimed at him. Brr, I sense murder, but from whom? Anko. No, she's actually quite lovely once you get to know her, creepy but nice. I have a hunch she discovered something I was keeping from her, but what? Back in the forest, the females continued to stare at him until Kurenai heard a girly squeal. Squeal, I just want to go down there and pet his little tail, Anko squealed. Wow, Anko-chan. I don't think I've ever seen you this girly before, Kurenai marveled. What? I have my times. After all, I am a female. I wonder who gave him that stuff, fox, said Anko. Probably someone who cares about him like us, Kurenai speculated. The girls continue to observe Naruto play with his toy. Naruto's apartment. Naruto tosses the fox with his legs and arms, only to capture it while rubbing his ears against the soft fur of the toy. Naruto then leapt back and pounced on his toy again, giggling and wagging his tail.
Up in the tree, just one touch, just one stroke. Come on Kurenai-chan, it's not fair, shrieked Anko, who was now chained to the tree trunk and thrashing. I'm sorry, Anko-chan, but I had to keep you back no matter how much we wanted to touch it. How come you're not cuffed? You just want to stroke that adorable silky tail by yourself. On the contrary, Kurenai said, displaying a leg brace attached to the tree trunk with a chain. I tied myself up when I tied you up. You're no fun, Anko sobbed. 5 years later. Naruto, 8 years old, was strolling down the street wearing a ragged cloak and a dark blue face mask. People today appear to be talking amongst themselves, but it wasn't about him. Did you hear? Itachi Uchiha assassinated his entire bloodline last night. Yeah, and I heard the only survivor was his younger brother Sasuke. He simply left the village after the massacre. Naruto's pupils widened as he realized what he had heard with his improved hearing.
Itachi had failed to adopt Naruto since his father detested him for being a demon. Itachi had tried and tried again, despite his mother's plea to her spouse that he was only a child. Itachi simply gave up and decided to support Naruto by giving him half of his pay for every mission he went on to help him purchase whatever he needed. Naruto dashed towards the Hokage Tower, ignoring the secretary and ninja who were pursuing him. Naruto slammed the doors open, turning around and rapidly closing them, barricading the doors with his body. "Naruto, what are you doing here?" questioned the Hokage. Inside his office was another kid his age who resembled Itachi but had shorter hair and was a few inches taller. Naruto smiled broadly only to be thrown to the ground by 4 Jonin who were holding Naruto down. "That's quite enough. Release him," commanded the Hokage. "But, Hokage-sama, I will not repeat myself, so do as I say or face Ibiki and Anko. Just so you know, Anko and Ibiki have taken a liking to the boy, and if they find out one of you harmed even a hair on him, their sessions will be 10 times what they normally do," the Hokage warned. The Jonin were sweating bullets thinking about Ibiki and Anko and left silently. "Now then, Naruto, I'll be with you in a second, I just need to talk to this boy," said the Hokage, gesticulating towards the boy. Naruto took a photograph from beneath his cloak of himself donning a white shirt and black baggy trousers and presented it to the Hokage. The Hokage looked at the picture, puzzled by Naruto's movements. "Sasuke, are you sure you saw Itachi killing your family?" asked the Hokage after taking the picture. "Yes, boss. I saw it with a genjutsu he called Tsukuyomi," said the boy known as Sasuke. "Well, don't believe it. Your sibling was framed for murder." "Thank you, Naruto. You just saved an innocent man from a terrible fate," said the Hokage. "What do you mean, Hokage-sama?" questioned Sasuke. "Look at this photo," the Hokage said, handing the photo to Sasuke. Sasuke looked at the photo only to see Tuchi Ichiraku smiling ear to ear hugging his daughter with one arm and hugging a smiling Itachi Uchiha that could rival Tuchi's smile with a peace sign on his right hand and carrying an 8-year-old Naruto with a peace sign on his left hand inside the ramen stand. Sasuke was perplexed until he noticed the date and time in the lower left corner of the photo. Sasuke's eyes widened as he realized the date and time were during the massacre and that the ramen stand in the Uchiha compound were too far away even if Itachi performed a shadow clone jutsu. "But how?" a surprised Sasuke inquired. "Well, it's possible that someone was spying on your brother for some time, learning his movement, combat strategies, and using any conflict he had against him so he could get the credit. Whoever did it was presumably just biding his time to strike. As for the Tsukuyomi, it is thought that a similar technique exists in which a person simply focuses a large amount of killing intent into their eyes and mixes it with a high-level genjutsu, making it appear that the target just witnessed his or her own death, the death of others, or both. It's possible that this individual used that on you to make it appear like the technique. Because transformation jutsu does not copy bloodlines, he could have created a contact lens that resembled the Sharingan for the eyes," stated the Hokage. Sasuke was taken aback by what he heard, given that whoever killed his clan took every thought and detail down to the last second to frame his brother. "Sasuke," said the Hokage pulling Sasuke out of his thoughts, "your sibling was a good man and saved Naruto here countless of times. He even contemplated adopting him, but your father had such a stubborn pride that he refused to accept him. Sasuke, your sibling, never desired power and was always pushed by your father and the Uchiha elders. That's why I always hear him arguing with father and the others," Sasuke explained. "I'm guessing your brother was with Naruto the whole time," the Hokage said, looking at Naruto, who simply nodded his head, indicating he was correct in his assumption. "Thank you, Naruto-san, for clearing my brother's reputation. I would have gone insane and would have done anything to gain power to kill him," Sasuke said, bowing to Naruto. Naruto yanked on the Hokage's robes, gaining his focus, and traced the seal on his stomach. "Are you sure, Naruto?" asked the Hokage. Naruto nodded in accord, a determined expression on his face. "Very well then," the Hokage said, turning to face Sasuke, who was perplexed. "What do you know about the Kyubi no Kitsune, the 9-tailed fox?" asked Sasuke the Hokage. "Well, the 4th Hokage was the one who slaughtered it," Sasuke observed. "That is not entirely correct. Because he was unable to slay the monster, the 4th Hokage decided to confine it. However, he had to lock it inside someone with underdeveloped chakra bands. That someone was an infant, and that baby is here, standing next to you, Naruto Uzumaki," said the Hokage. "But he's just a normal kid," Sasuke said as he turned to face Naruto and grinned smugly after removing his disguise. "He is, indeed. The townsfolk are unaware of this and mistake him for the devil himself. Naruto has thwarted numerous murder attempts, one of which damaged his voice cords when he was only 3 years old. Fortunately, he has been able to talk softly for some time and has gained approval from a variety of people, including your sibling. Itachi approached me one day and requested me to be his personal security in return for him only taking on short S-class in a class tasks and giving Naruto half the prize. Chuckle the Hokage smiled as he remembered the episode. Your brother came here last night and said he wanted to meet the two of you so Naruto could have a friend. Naruto's long, silver foxtail and fox ears protruded from beneath his cloak when he removed his helmet. Well, it appears that the seal caused him to suffer from a variety of negative consequences. I'm sure Itachi was aware. Naruto is just bowing and wagging his tail. When Sasuke said, Naruto-san, thank you for everything, the Hokage just laughed at Naruto's move. Naruto's offer of a salutation was easily taken by Sasuke after the latter merely smiled and offered his hand. Naruto, I have something I'd like to discuss with you. The Hokage invited Sasuke to stay as well, indicating to a safe concealed behind the fourth Hokage's picture on the wall behind his desk. The Hokage took out 4 papers, 3 blue, 1 yellow, 1 red, and 1 simple green, and placed them on the table. Then there's Naruto. I'd like to tell you about your parents, who ultimately left me a parchment with the precise directions to give you these on your 8th rather than your 16th birthday. Your father was Minato Namikaze, the Leaf's very own Yellow Flash and the 4th Hokage. Kushina Uzumaki was one of the Leaf's best medical specialists, and she was educated by Tsunade Senju, a previous student of mine. She was known as the Leaf's Angel because she was the gentlest lady anyone had ever met and always treated everyone with compassion, whether they were a friend, an adversary, or neutral. Unfortunately, your mother lived long enough to give you your moniker before passing away shortly after you were born. Your father died after binding the Kyubi inside of you, the Hokage observed. Naruto was astounded to discover that the 4th Hokage was his true father and that he had a caring and patient mother. Naruto dropped to his knees and burst into floods of joy and sorrow as he processed the information. The green one includes pictures of your parents and their concluding words to you, describing your father's lineage restriction, the Ryugen, or Dragon's Eye. These 3 blades belong to your father, despite the fact that he had instructed me not to appoint anyone to train you how to use them. But who am I to question Minato's logic? Questioned the Hokage. While still weeping, Naruto accepted the paper and bowed to the Hokage once more to show his thanks. Naruto and Sasuke were told by the Hokage to move swiftly because they did not want to be late for their first day of Ninja Academy. Before departing the Hokage Tower and heading to the academy, both pupils bowed politely. Itachi, if only you could see this, you would understand that your wish for your brother and Naruto to be friends has come true, the Hokage said audibly as he looked out the window at the 2 boys. The following evening Naruto's only dream before falling asleep was being in a cesspool. After hearing someone sob, he decided to follow the sound. When he heard the voice grow stronger, he found himself in front of massive gates kept open by a small piece of paper with the characters for seal written on it. Excuse me, are you okay? He asked, seeing a female weeping through the bar. Naruto was taken aback when he heard his voice. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, it's all my fault. The girl sobbed as she spun around, flinching at the sound of his words. What went awry for you? As she approached the bar, a beautiful young woman with a pallid skin, long red silk hair tied back into a ponytail, fiery red eyes that matched Kurenai's eyes, and a white kimono that showed off her curves while remaining polite appeared. She had 9 blood-red foxtails with white tips, and 2 red fox ears positioned above her head, just like him. Naruto could only say, beautiful, with his gaze fixated on the woman. The woman reddened at his comment. Thank you, she stammered. Are you a hero? Naruto inquired. No, I'm a creature known as the Kyubi no Kitsune. It's impossible because you're too beautiful to be Kyubi. I'm not lying, I truly am the Kyubi, the woman said as more tears streamed down her cheeks. So, why did you attack the village? Naruto inquired. I didn't mean to. Orochimaru, a guy with golden serpent eyes, was the one who awoke me and tried to steal my powers. The genjutsu he used on me backfired, putting me in a condition where I thought I was defending myself from the people, the Kyubi lamented. Naruto hugged the Kyubi in between the bars. He's not afraid of me, Kyubi exclaimed as he embraced her back. Does he believe in me? The Kyubi pondered. I don't care what you call yourself, but you're one of my first friends and my angel who saved me from my pain, Naruto observed, remembering all the times his wounds had been treated by a crimson energy released from his body. The Kyubi was staring at him with wide eyes. When their lips met, the distance between them closed, and their blood-red and cerulean blue eyes met as if gazing into each other's minds. After a brief smooch, Both parties separated ways as the Kyubi snuggled up to Naruto's chest. Do you remember your first object, Naruto-kun? Yes, well, I used my energy to create the gift in an effort to lighten your day and reduce your load. You looked cute when you jumped on it. It reminded me of a small kid playing with a toy. The Kyubi grinned, making Naruto flush. I still have it. It was my first and finest object, and I still play with it now and then, said Naruto, embracing Kyubi even tighter. The Kyubi murmured in delight as Naruto caressed her hair with his claw-like hands, asking, Kyubi-chan, is there any way to liberate you, even if it's for a brief while? There is a way to release me into a physical body while still retaining most of my powers within you. The Kyubi who was caressing Naruto's neck explained. What exactly is it? The cover outside the entrance must be ripped in half. Once I have a tangible form on the outside, I should be able to share your lineage and the same amount of energy you emit. Kyubi-chan, could you teach me some kitsune attacks when you're outside? Sure thing Naruto-kun, and by the way, my name is Kira. Kira Yoko, Kyubi answered, as their tails intertwined and they both drifted off inside Kyubi's cage. There will be more to come. To be continued.
That's it for this podcast. Thanks for listening to this video. If you did enjoy this sort of the story, like, share and subscribe for more, and thank you all for help and support, and enjoy your rest of your day.